There are special requirements for caring for infants and toddlers. A family child care home cannot use a drop-side crib or any crib manufactured before June 28, 2011. Do not use cribs or pack-and-plays once the child can climb over them. A family child care home cannot use portable playpens manufactured before February 19, 2014. Any playpen that has a metal V cannot be used. A family child care home shall supply separate cribs or playpens for each infant and shall not allow infants under 35 inches tall to sleep on any type of adult bed or sofa. You must not place pillows or stuffed animals or blankets in infant's bed during sleep or nap time. Please ensure that high chairs, infant swings, and playpens and cribs are in safe working condition. You must disinfect any toys and play equipment that has been used by the infant or the toddler after each use. Mobile walkers like this in the picture are prohibited. The use of jumpers which attach to doorways are also not recommended. A family child care home caring for infants and toddlers shall hold any child who's unable to hold his or her own bottle during feeding. Must also offer water to infants and toddlers several times a day. Ensure that infants and toddlers participate in activities outside of their crib and their playpen. When a child is unable to turn over by themselves, place the infant on his or her back to sleep, unless medical documentation prohibits sleep like this. Notice in the picture that when the baby is on its back, its windpipe is on top. If the baby were to spit up, it would go back down the esophagus where it belongs. Gravity does not allow anything to travel upward in the windpipe. But if the baby is placed on its stomach, it is the opposite. Gravity pulls the liquid into the child's windpipe, and they could suffocate. When caring for a child in diapers, the caregiver must use a clean, non-porous surface or a pad for diaper changing, and must clean it after each use. You must have sufficient quantities of diapers available, and you must change diapers when soiled and dispose of them in a closed container. You need to discuss and agree with the child's parents on a schedule for toilet training when appropriate. If used, you need to empty and sanitize potty chairs or training chairs after each use. If you're planning on keeping children overnight, you will need to follow these following requirements. A family child care home providing nighttime care must not place mats or sleeping bags directly on the floor for overnight sleeping. You must provide the child with clean linens, pillows, and additional coverings as needed for their comfort. While children are awake, you must also be awake. However, when all the children are asleep, then you may sleep. You must also ensure that only children of the same family and the same gender sleep together in the same bed. Only during overnight care are caregivers allowed to sleep when the children are asleep. This does not apply to daytime care or nap times. When bathing a child, the caregiver must discuss the bathing arrangements with the child's parents. Remember that some people have serious objections to someone bathing their child. Be sure to contact the parents if a bath is required for a child that you do not normally bathe. During bathing time, please supervise a child under 6 years of age while they're bathing. Bathtubs and showers must be equipped with safety devices to prevent slipping or falling. Items such as soap, clean water, and individual washcloths and towels must be provided for each child. The tub must be cleaned thoroughly between baths. As a family child care provider, you are a business and you will need to keep records for your business. We'll discuss some of this documentation that you will need to keep. Records should be kept in easily accessible files for your inspections. To maintain confidentiality, please keep a separate file folder for each child or for each family. Keep a separate file folder for your records as well. A separate file for business and billing records should also be kept. A 3-ring binder, such as the picture featured at the top, is one way that you can store records. If page protectors are used, use only one per page per sleeve, as both sides of the document can be viewed. A file box containing separate file folders, like the one in the picture in the middle, is also a very good way to store records for each child as well as your own provider records. A filing cabinet is also acceptable. As a caregiver, you are required to have some parental involvement in your program. You must maintain all completed parental forms required by the West Virginia Department of Health and Human Resources. Providers are responsible for the operation of their business, including dealing with parents' failure to return completed forms and meet other expectations. Providers have the right to terminate services if parents fail to cooperate. Also, if a subsidized client fails to return the completed forms within 30 days, the provider must notify the child care resource and referral worker immediately. As a caregiver, you must require parents to review and sign their daily attendance sheets to document the time that the child is in care. All children must be signed in and out daily. Even private pay or children you provide free care for, such as a relative, must be signed in and out daily. Sign-in and out sheets will be included in your initial packet for your use. Keep all records on file for 2 years. You must also work with parents, a school system, West Virginia Birth to 3, and other providers to help plan for a child's transition to any other programs. Providers are required by West Virginia Code to make referrals to the West Virginia Birth to 3 program if necessary. Information on this will be included in your initial packet. Providers are also encouraged, but not required, to establish written rules and policies and share these with parents in a family handbook. There are certain rights that a parent or family member has. The caregiver must give parents an opportunity for visits to discuss services and requirements of the family child care home, as well as what the family may need. As a caregiver, the custodial parents of the child may have immediate and unlimited access to their child. However, you can only release the child to the individuals listed on the parent's emergency consent form. You must require identification before releasing a child to someone that is unknown to you to check to make sure that the name matches the parent's consent form. There is some required reporting that you have to do for West Virginia DHHR. Some of this reporting includes the following. You must immediately report suspected child abuse or neglect as a mandatory reporter. You must immediately report to the West Virginia DHHR Child Care Regulatory Specialist any accidents resulting in emergency treatment, hospitalization, or the death of a child, and follow up with a written report within 72 hours on a form designated by the West Virginia DHHR. Caregivers must also report the following within 72 hours. When any adult has been added to the household, and this is done so statements of criminal record, abuse and neglect history can be completed at that time. The caregiver must also report when major damage has happened to the home, or in the event that there is a change in address or a change in the contact phone number. So after you finished your orientation today, there are several next steps. Your application packet that will be sent to you must be completed and returned to West Virginia DHHR within 30 days of today's date. After you complete and return the paperwork to West Virginia DHHR, you will be assigned a child care regulatory specialist who will contact you to schedule your initial home visit. You will receive information on being fingerprinted, and you will be sent additional paperwork which you will need in the operation of your family child care home. You're going to receive your initial packet in the coming days, along with a return envelope and instructions on returning this packet. Failure to return the completed application packet will result in the denial of your application. After you complete the viewing of these videos and quizzes, make sure you submit an accurate mailing and physical address on the survey below. As a child care provider, you are considered a self-employed small business owner, and for that reason, it's recommended that you contact the following agencies. The West Virginia State Tax Department can provide you information regarding how to do business taxes, because you are going to be responsible for your own tax withholding. Your local city or council officials can be also contacted to ensure you're in compliance with all zoning, all city, county, and local taxes and fees, as well as any city, county fire regulations. If you plan to provide care for subsidized children, you'll need to contact your resource and referral agency to inquire about billing training. There are 2 slides here with your resource and referral information. If you're in a county, for Child Care Resource Center, Choices, Connect, or Link, your information is on the screen now. Please record the appropriate phone number. If your county is not listed here, it will be on the following slide. If you are in a county for Mountain Heart North or Mountain Heart South, you should find your county name here. Please record the appropriate phone number for the appropriate agency that is on the screen now. This concludes the orientation presentation. Thank you so much for your time. You will receive your application packet in the coming days. Please be sure to return your packet to the child care supervisor within 30 days of today's date.